Unleash the power. Unleash the power. Unleash the power.
Hello, 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 and welcome. We are the board members for Elevate Cote d'Ivoire. Some of you may already have seen us or met us and know what we are doing and we're up to. And some of you, this is your first time, so welcome. And we're happy to have you. I am Harmony Borden, and my husband Chris Borden there, and Stefan Akoki. And Stefan was the initial founder for Elevate, and all the groundwork that he started years ago, and the visionary of our huge project that we've been building. And it's been an amazing journey. It moves along pretty quickly. We do a lot within Elevate, and we're going to go and dive into a big portion of that this evening to kind of give you more of an idea of what we've been working on and what the future holds for us. So I think a quick intro to a high level of what we do. We like to bring basically independence and economic growth to individuals who don't always have an opportunity in their day-to-day, not like a lot of us do. So the resources, they're very limited, and it's been an amazing journey. I just will say that because I love working with them every day, and I love what we've grown and built, and I'm excited to see what's to come. Chris, can I turn it over to you?
Yeah, sure. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the problems that we're solving there, and how the impact, or how the joint effort and the work that we do together can impact people's lives. And ultimately, that's what the goal is. Harmony kind of alluded to what we do and the problems that we're solving. So kind of in the background, you can see some of the on-the-ground work that we've helped coordinate in the past, where we're going into orphanages or hospitals, schools, just trying to bring more, and ultimately it's for more opportunities. A lot of what we do is structured around education and giving them the proper tools and resources that they need to to be able to just honestly just survive. I know Stefan can sort of attest and explain his life a little bit better, and some of the trials, tribulations, and challenges that they had. But ultimately, the biggest problem is, how do we look at it from a more holistic standpoint? How do we solve a problem that could impact the lives of millions of people? And the largest impact that we felt as a group that we can make is just by giving opportunities. And there's more to it, especially from Stefan's experience and his goals, visions, and ambitions and dreams. But at the end of the day, the problems are large, but can definitely be solved with opportunities. And it kind of honestly boils down to that. But then giving them the tools that they need and the resources that they need to be able to have opportunities actually come to fruition. So I am going to want to turn it over now to our fearless leader here, Stefan Akoki, and he can kind of elaborate a little bit more, like I said, on some of the experiences, what he's dealt with in the past, and kind of can bring a little bit more light to what you're seeing in the background. Again, what you're seeing in the background are events that we've hosted. We have the fortunate, sorry, let me do one more segue. We have the fortunate opportunities to be able to give back additionally by the people that we help educate and employ. So we help employ individuals, and one of the things that they do is we ask them to be able to give back to their communities as well through volunteering. We fund the project, and they fund the manpower and the physical resources to actually accomplish what we're trying to accomplish physically there. So it's completely, it's a kind of an awesome full circle. And I think a lot of what we're trying to do is to be full circle to bring up opportunities. And I can go on forever about it because just love and super passionate about it. But again, let me kind of turn it over to Stefan so he can shed a little bit more light on it.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. I was just smiling as I was looking at this. The slides are gone, but I totally enjoy looking at all these memories. You know, when you're in the middle of building something so great, you're so focused on the now and then the tomorrow. Sometimes you forget the past, and then you tend to focus on all the things that are not going right. You know, you wish you could reach more people. You wish you could fix this and that. And in fact, I just got off a call with my sister Patricia, and she's one of our fierce leader on the ground, and you know, talking through the university launch in September, what's not working, and all the challenges, you know, to bring greatness, and no great human work has ever been done without any challenges. But watching these videos made me happy because it made me realize how far we've come. Because it's easy to forget. If you're a founder and a visionary like me, I'm always living 3, 10, 20 years in time, but sometimes forget to live a little bit in the present and the past. But watching the growth, watching how many people we've impacted, thousands of people over time, and then the transformation we've seen, kind of related to what Chris had mentioned about the education. And we love on the groundwork. You know, it helps bring immediate relief to those who need it the most, whether it's widows, whether it's orphans. But we also love the transformation that comes with opportunities, Chris mentioned, and jobs. And for a lot of those folks, it is the beginning of, you know, a transformation. Sometimes we donate educational pack. And they might be in elementary school, they might be in middle school, but it is the beginning of a long journey as we keep them in our as we keep them in our process to eventually, you know, be able to land an internship, you know, or land a job here in the United States, and then 10x as 10x their income. All that is possible through our partners that we thank every day for their help, their support. Our business partners enable us to create jobs here in the United States, and employing and hiring those remote employees in Ivory Coast, Ghana, Nigeria, and other countries. And by doing so, unlocking wonders, if I may call it that way. We love the example of, you know, so the students that have come through our program that have been blown away by the education level. We have a cohort of students currently in a boot camp with an AI first boot camp we call, and we're upskilling people. We're teaching them the latest technology so they can be competitive on the world stage. And it's been incredible to see their journey. It brought me so much joy to see. To see an idea, a concept of an idea, I'd like to say, that turned into incredible students today, building real things, building real solutions for businesses, and you know, seeing how happy they were and the enjoyment they find and the fulfillment they find with learning those things, which also makes us really happy. And we know their lives are not easy. We know they have to juggle, they have to balance so many different things to be able to survive 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs. And now we're saying, hey, come and get more education. It's a downing challenge and a downing task, but a lot of them, on top of all their busy life, were willing to come and learn and then transform their life, first from the education and then second, with the job opportunities. And again, thank you to all that have supported us through your donation and your contribution to the Elevate University. You have enabled people to get a world-class education, and through your contribution to the overall Elevate mission, whether it's a referral, whether it is a shout out, whether it's a like, a comment on our page, or follow, you have exposed us to so many more partners, whether business partners, whether donors that are all contributing to making a difference in the lives of so many across the continent. We just opened. We for the first time we've had someone from Kenya as one of our students, and so we're getting closer to East Africa. I mean, we have someone in Botswana right now, but we haven't been too much on the east side. So it's exciting to see all the growth. It's exciting to see all the people that have come and joined and this cause. And also, we're happy with all the people that have supported us from the very beginning. I believe we are now about to watch some testimonial videos. Chris, are we still doing that?
Honestly, today my life has changed a place.
My journey with Elevate University has been a very great one. In fact, it's a dream come true. I've seen myself growing tremendously with Elevate. Before I started with Elevate, I had some certain skills and I had a degree. But however, I had a dream of where I wanted to grow to. But I see that Elevate was a dream come true, helping me achieve a certain level to which I want to be. I see myself growing, I see myself improving, I see myself becoming much better in my field, learning new skills, encountering different tasks that improves my knowledge, that even takes me to the next level. Being part of Elevate is really a blessing. And I urge each and everyone who is looking for an opportunity or looking for the next level to be part of Elevate. Join Elevate University and you won't regret it.
My name is Otobong. I'm from Nigeria and this is my journey with Elevate University. Before joining Elevate, I had a degree, but I had no idea how to turn my degree into practical skills that actually work. I felt lost. I saw others moving forward while I was still searching for my true direction. I did not know how to develop these skills that I had attained from my degree. And so I decided to start my practical training with Elevate University, even though at first I had many doubts. Today, I improve every week and I am developing a skill that truly has value. And honestly, I never imagined that I would grow this fast. So join our community today to follow the transformations each week and see what happens next.
I was muted there. Sorry. Thank you very much. I wanted to kind of dive into a little bit more about, we've been growing so much so that we now have an advisory board too. And so, yes, so we have Mr. Christophe. I want to make sure I enunciate it correctly.
Yeah, Christophe Zephyrin. You had it. I feel like you had it.
I that's exactly what I was gonna say, because that's what it looks like, honestly.
yeah, there we go.
And it's not as if this is the first time I'm meeting Christophe by any means. No, he has been kind of behind the scenes for a minute there with us, and he's been a part of our team, and he just kind of snuck his way in, which we were so excited over. Before we dive into who you are and what you do, I know there was a connection with you and Stefan. Can you guys tell us, when did you guys cross paths?
I think if I'm not mistaken, it was via LinkedIn. Shout out to the power of social media. Mm-hmm. So I had been using LinkedIn to kind of showcase, some collegiate like research and things along those lines that I was doing at the time. And Stefan had this interesting post about helping educational initiatives in Africa. And I was like, I've kind of been doing something similar to that. I wonder, let me send my information in here, and we ended up reaching out and having a call, right? I'm remembering this correctly, right, Stefan?
Yeah, no, that's exactly how it happened. And I'm going to tell the backstory about that post, but keep going.
Okay. I think from that first call, we really spoke about our goals for the continent, you know, and kind of my experience, Stefan's experience, and he kind of gave me his whole spiel about how he came to be who he is today. Explained how I came to be who I am, and I think from that first conversation, it was kind of like, okay, cool, like this is we have the same vision about the future for the diaspora as a whole, right? But we can start in a very specific place, and that's where Stefan came in. And yeah, I think that may be good for now. Stefan, let me hear the back end. I actually haven't heard this part of the story.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about this. You know, we've been doing education. I've been thinking about education for a very long time. As I was evolving that concept of a university, you know, I was like, okay, I think this is where we need to go. But I had no clue how or what the plans, and I just had this thought, like just post the vision and you'll figure out. And I was like, well, I mean, what if people ask lots of questions? What am I gonna tell them? It's gonna get really awkward really fast. Then I was like, one night I was like, you know what? I just went on ChatGPT and I was like, give me a logo, give me a building, and then that's how the logo we used to do at the university came about. It was just quickly designed on ChatGPT, and then the vision. I was like, I really like this building. Then I threw the post together and I posted it, and then it got lots of attention. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad it did. I did post that because that's how we connected. We wouldn't have connected if I not made that post. And to your example, the power of social media it's been wonderful. How many people have reached out, but again, like of all the people that have reached out, you're one of like the amazing one that has stuck with it and been helping ever since. And then we got to meet at MIT, and that was pretty awesome and full circle moments.
Yeah.
Oh, so your guys' moment in MIT was the first time you met in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I realized that.
Yeah.
And we had already been talking with Christophe, and he's been on our meetings for quite a while before that. So that's awesome.
right.
The power of social media. We got to love this.
Right.
Christophe, so you wear a lot of hats. You're an engineer, you're an educator, photographer, you're even a book author. So when people ask you what drives all of this, if you can give one sentence, what is the driver behind that for you?
I think it really goes back to community, right? Growing up, I had a lot of influence. So my family, my mom's side is from Guyana, South America. My dad's side is Haitian. And for some time before my dad even come to the country, he lived in the Congo for a while. And then, well, what's now known as the Congo. And my mom's parents were Pan-Africanists. So there was always a larger emphasis behind when people said community for me, right? And for me, it meant, finding a way to serve and provide an impact, right? And, my entire family kind of comes from service providers, whether it be professors, doctors. I think me and my dad are the only engineer, nurses, things along those lines. So I'd always seen serving and community and faith in the same aspect. And at the end of the day, I think that's the impact that I'd like to be able to leave the world. Is like I helped develop and create and sustain some community that allowed for something, the next generation. Right? I think that's what makes everything kind of go together, right? The engineering is like I can work with concrete. We can physically build it, right?
Yeah.
And then as kind of an educator and a leader, I can kind of direct people in the right direction, right? And then the photography comes in, it adds to the creative side, but it's also how do we tell the story of this, right? Because, the story is kind of that's what matters. That's what makes it from generation to generation, and there's power behind it. If we think of all the ancient African history that was taught orally for years, generations, right? And the power that was behind the how the story was told, right? And all these things kind of connect to one larger like life force that kind of makes me passionate about the things that I do. So longer than a sentence, but that's I think that's what it goes back to, right? Being able to build that community.
Yeah, no, I love that. You could do a lot of you could work with a lot of different organizations. You're very busy, but yet you find the time to plug into any initiative, and you found Elevate? What made Elevate the one that was worth your time?
I think, you know, the key for why Elevate for me was I believe education is the untapped tool towards innovation and the next generation of what the diaspora as a whole can look like. Building on top of current technologies now, using, you know, the indigenous knowledge of our ancestors, right? Just putting it plainly, and being able to find a great avenue between the two. I think that's kind of something that, you know, it's like a design challenge for me in a sense, and it's a little weird because as an engineer you usually think I'm trying to build buildings or whatever, but I think that's where my design oriented mind went to. So for me, I was looking for how do we use education as a tool for innovation. That's like the first sentence, right? And then we can go into what does that tool look like, right? And I believe that, you know, engineering and being able to learn this technical background is kind of core to that, right? If we look at, you know, how the study of materials and you know, geotechnics and geology, and then you can get into even civil engineering design. That's how at the end of the day these communities get built, right? And people have to learn how to do that in the first place, right? So how do we kind of innovate in that space as well? Like, what can we do with Elevate that may look different from a traditional college, but still gives you the same impact, and then gives you the skill to then go and use what you learned and go create impact elsewhere, hopefully in your local community, right? Because that's where I believe that your mind is best fit for, right? Speaking a language of your people to improve the people, right? And granted, you know, not everybody shares that same sentiment, but that's also a part of education as well. You learn from the people that you influence, right?
Yeah.
And that helps me kind of better do it every day.
Yeah.
So I think the core is really just being able to attack education from a familiar standpoint, but in a different way, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You kind of answered my next question, which is how, from where you're sitting and seeing what we've been doing within Elevate and all the different pillars that we've been working on,
Yeah.
what the gap is that you see that Elevate is actually filling. And it's you kind of alluded to it, but I'm going to throw in this other question in here. So you probably can combine them here, because you know that we're bringing in engineering and those aspects to our next pillar here. And that's one of the things we've been already kind of working with, right? A lot of computer engineering, things like that. So knowing that we're bringing in the different aspects of engineering, how do you see those skills showing up for the people of Africa?
I think it's gonna demystify the knowledge behind what makes an engineer, right? Because, you know, my family was always very much doctor, lawyer, engineer. Well, maybe doctor, lawyer, engineer, right? Like that's the pinnacle of I guess academic you know, standards, right? As far as like what you can get with a college degree. And I think the reason is because those skills, right? It's heavily information based. You need to know a lot of information to be an engineer, right? There's a lot of equations that I have up here, right? But I think it's not only the knowledge about it, but how do you apply it as well? And that goes back to the skills. I'm sorry, before I start to ramble, you want to bring me back to the question?
Well, I just said, how do you see those skills showing up for people in Africa? And when I say Africa, like, we are primarily in Cote d'Ivoire, and we've kind of accidentally stumbled into different countries in Africa. So, which is why even more so, I've been just referring to Africa as our primary focus has always been Cote d'Ivoire. But if there's ways that we're able to expand and share outside and while we're building it, then it's even more amazing. So how do you see that these skills will show up for them?
Yeah, for sure. I think So the first point that I made was demystifying the all the information that's behind it, right? And I think secondly is it one of the biggest benefits that I found as an engineer, especially somebody that's so community focused, is when, I work and live in New York City currently. One of the biggest things that really impact my thinking as somebody who serves communities and as I design these random projects, right, is when I go and I see a child playing on a basketball court that I had some part in designing, right? That I know, hey, you're directly on top of a drain pipe that leads to the stormwater system that leads out into the bay, right? It may seem like such a minuscule or minute detail, but it gives me another connection to that specific space. And I think throughout the history and the recent history of Africa, there's been a lot of disconnect between the people and their space, right? In terms of, how resources are taken from the country, right? What's being taught about African history, right? Either on the continent or abroad. I more so know the abroad aspect, but I think being able to establish that connection through building something, right? Working on an app, getting two of your friends together and taking some classes that may help you start a business, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
That lasts you until your old age, right? And also gets you connected with your home in a little bit deeper level,
Yeah.
right? The access to those type of because at that point it's more than a skill, right? It's I think an opportunity doesn't even do it justice, but you have the ability to then really actually change your landscape, right?
Yeah.
And this is where I go back into wow, how do we design opportunities that can teach you the best, but then also let you go and actually do those things in your neighborhood, in your village,
Yep, that's what we're working on. Okay, last question. If someone is watching right now and they're on the fence about trying to get involved or looking to get involved with any kind of project around them, not necessarily Elevate or Elevate, what would you say to them to get them to take the leap of getting involved, whatever that may look like?
Yeah, I would say find your impact, right? There's one thing that you can do that helps X, Y, and Z. Add your the organization, right?
Mhm.
And then once you find that, do it in other places, right? And I think that's one thing that allows me to really be passionate about all the ventures that I step into, is because at the end of the day, it's all centered around some sort of community and centered around some sort of value that I really try to abide by on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So if everybody can find just one thing that puts them in a place to help somebody build community, right? That helps somebody understand their value, then I think you're doing it, right? Whether that's with Elevate or not. Yeah. Find
Thank
your
you.
impact.
Thank you so much. And thank you for being a part of our advisory board. We love your contributions. You always have some great thoughts, and we definitely appreciate it. And I'm sure our team does as well. So I'm going to get ready to turn this over. Thank you very much, Christophe. And I'm going to turn this back over to Stefan, and he's going to kind of talk about the roadmap of Elevate. Where are we going? What are we doing next? What does this big visionary look like for us here in the future?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I will try to share my screen here. It's a very familiar environment for me. But yeah, here we go. I think it's been shared. So the biggest milestone right now we're focused on is what is our phase one, to launch our first training center that will be located in Abidjan, the economical capital of Côte d'Ivoire. And then from there, we want to expand into more degrees, more certificates. We have identified 5 core areas that we believe from the engineering perspective, from the education perspective, are key to help develop the nation. So our ultimate goal, our visionary goal, is to elevate Côte d'Ivoire, literally, and we're elevating it via education, by training with skills that can transform communities, like Christoph mentioned, helping students translate all the theory and that they've learned in school into actionable things and that they could leverage to be able to improve their community. Starting in Cote d'Ivoire and hoping to build a replicable system, a replicable pattern that will help impact other countries in which we work. So we're really excited about that launch. We'll have a bootcamp for software developers. It will be AI first, and the world of development has changed. We want to make sure that our students are competitive in the international market, and then we'll move into actual formal degrees. I'm very excited about electrical engineering as well, mechanical engineering. Christoph is a civil engineer, and like he mentioned in New York, unfortunately, his is one of the last one. It's a harder degree to plan, it's a harder degree to design. But we hope that with our partners and with our supporters, we hope to be able to bring some of that roadmap bring some of those degrees and opportunities a bit sooner. But focusing first on September, we'll be launching our first program. One other thing I wanted to call out is, I was reading, this article about the need for education, need for engineers on the African continent. They estimated a few years ago that sub-Saharan Africa alone has a 2.5 million engineering shortage. That's a lot of people. And the continent is into its active building phase. So we do need engineers. We do need people that can create those experiences, that can build those communities, that can transform the life of people. But again, that starts with education, that starts with innovation, that starts with problem solving and all. And so I look at a number and I'm like, oh my goodness, there's a lot of work to do. And we're starting and contributing in our small way with our initial phase with 50 students to start with. But we want to grow that into the 1,000 in Cote d'Ivoire and other places, and also figuring out how do we bring that at scale. Because again, our motto, our slogan is education for impact. The more engineers we can train, the more we can teach them how to apply those skills, the thousands of people that they can bless, the thousands of people that they could impact. The solutions that Christoph is designing in New York is just him, one engineer, but it's impacting hundreds or thousands of people. And we want to have more of those talented minds like Christoph in our local community, design around our local need, with local indigenous knowledge, to be able to transform the nation. And piggybacking on some of what Christoph mentioned, when you look at our true history as an African continent, we've always been engineers. If I may be so bold to say, because as we Africans have always been the first engineers because life started there. From many years ago, humans were already figuring out the environment. Humans were already solving problems, how to survive, how to build, how to use their materials and their resources in the plains of Africa. So, and all the way to the great civilization of Egypt, Ethiopia, Ghana, and Mali. We've had a long and extended tradition of engineers, and we need to bring that knowledge back into our universities. We need to bring that incredible, rich history of building and solving problems for our local community back. And we're super excited as Elevate University to be at the forefront of that educational revolution, and bring education for impact for the lives of thousands. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to bring back Christoph, and he's going to take over our next portion here. I'm going to replace me.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You're good.
Okay. Um, so one of the big things with Elevate is we need donations. And to really make sure that something of this magnitude can happen, we're thinking of some creative ways to actually ensure it and make it happen. So in the slideshow that's kind of playing behind me a little bit, we have some local art from around the diaspora, but specifically from Cote d'Ivoire, right? And a big thing at Elevate is that we want to make sure that as we're raising funds and being able to develop these curriculums, we're also giving back to our local communities. So not only are we using works like these as fundraising opportunities, but I'd also like to announce that for the next week, we're actually collecting donations on a platform called Double Good. And this is something, if you wanted to make sure your donation was going to a good place, but you also get something in return, you can get different types of popcorn that help support Elevate's mission, and you get some popcorn as well, right? And this adds to the multitude of fundraising initiatives and things that we're trying to make sure that the impact that we're really talking about can happen. So shortly after this program, we'll make sure that all the links to donate are sent throughout all of our networks. And this is another opportunity for you to support Elevate, whether it be getting one bag of popcorn, getting a couple, buying for the office, and more. And we really appreciate, like Stefan said earlier, all the collaborators, the partners that help Elevate truly operate. As you can imagine, the impact is large, right? And we really want to make sure that we give an opportunity for contributions of every level to really support this journey. So then again, like I said before, in addition to the usual art that can be located on our website, we're having a Double Good fundraiser for the next 7 days. Okay, so that ends on June 3rd, and that will be on Double Good. The links will be sent out immediately after this call. How'd I do, Stefan?
Thank you. You did fantastic. Thank you so much for all your help and all your contribution. And it's been fantastic working with you. And then I want to echo what Christophe has said. Our vision is massive, and it has the potential to change the life of thousands and millions. And we are grateful for all you've already done. We are grateful for all the support you've provided, and we could really use your help pushing us to the finish line, if I may say. September is our official launch. And then in September, we'll need equipment. We'll need to have a building and facility so students can have the opportunity to learn. And currently, we're actively raising for our laptops, our laptop equipment, which is about $50,000 for 50 laptops for our first cohort of students. And you could donate via the website on oneelevate.com, and you will find the Elevate University page, or go to oneelevate.com on the donate page, and there's opportunities for you to contribute directly to the school. The popcorn donation initiative, as that Christophe mentioned, is a fantastic way to contribute. But anything helps really. Sometimes when we talk about a university, I think some folks think, oh man, if I don't have a 50 or 100K, I don't know if I can help you. Any $10, $20, we have the benefit of the exchange rate with dollars to Ivory Coast, to the local franc in Ivory Coast, that give us the opportunity to do a lot more when people support us. And we're getting very, very grateful for all that has been done, and we'll encourage you to continue donating and help us get to our goal of 50 laptops, $50,000, to ensure that we start a campus that is fully equipped and where students can learn high skills. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us once again. We plan to do this again next month. We want to continue to do awareness and bring the awareness to everybody that what we're building, what we're growing to. Like Stefan said, we are going to be traveling there this year, and we're excited for this. It's been, like I keep telling you, and Chris was on it earlier. We can talk about this all day long. Anybody who knows us knows that we just love talking about what we're building and growing and just seeing it all come to fruition. So watch out for us again next month. We will bring it all back to you here. And if you ever have any questions, you want to know more about what we're doing or how we're doing it, we're an open book. We love to share it. Like I said, we can talk about it all day long. So please message any one of us. We're all on LinkedIn. We're also on all the other platforms. LinkedIn, you're probably going to get more out of us communication-wise. I think we have that link there for Double Good. Chris, if we can throw that up on the banner there before we end here. I mean, unless I can figure out how to do a banner, but I'm not going to pretend. Oh, maybe I can.
Where is it? In WhatsApp?
Yes, it was in WhatsApp, but there it is. I did it. Did I do it? I put the link in there. If you guys want to do the popcorn and, it's a double whammy, right? Like Christoph said, you can get some popcorn for the office, for the kids, snacks, and it's doing double good. You got your good popcorn, and a donation goes towards Elevate. And like we mentioned earlier on, Chris showed all the different types of things that we do. We have our on-the-ground efforts that our team, all our virtual assistants, all of our team members that we help create jobs for, and we do training with them. They're out there on the ground doing the work. And it's been exciting because not only have we hit the ground in Cote d'Ivoire, but now we've also done it in Nigeria a handful of times. And I love seeing the growth and the excitement of them being able to do more in their own communities. And they get to be creative with how that looks as well. We're really big on the education. So definitely hit up one of our websites, check out the Double Good or oneelevate.org, or message any one of us on LinkedIn, as well as Elevate Cote d'Ivoire on LinkedIn as well. And we look forward to seeing you guys all next month.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Everybody.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Unleash the power.